get silence right away. All right, thank you all very much, and welcome to our October SEMA meeting. Today we are here thanks to the gentlemen of General Motors. As you all saw the trucks outside, and we're going to get a chance to look at them later. Odie McKinley, who Pepe is sneaking by right here. Who's joined us before at different meetings. Now we're going to do a little bit of SEMA business. First of all, we'll give Odie the opportunity to speak after lunch. We'll do a little business, we'll go get our plates, we'll get some lunch, and then afterwards listen to the presentation, and we'll have the opportunity to drive these vehicles, which, by the way, talking with friends of mine at Road and Track magazine, they say it is sensational. So it should be good fun with the little diesel in it, lots of torque, great towing capacity, and beautiful as you all see. So we'll go out and take a look at those later on. So thank you, gentlemen, first of all, for kindly sponsoring our SEMA luncheon. It's very nice. I want to talk very briefly. A few weeks ago, quite a number of our members had the sad honor of attending a day of celebration for our late founder, Ron Beasley. It was and still is an incredible shock that Ron is no longer with us. The speed with which cancer overtook him still astonishes me. I can't believe it. And to think that he's not here any longer is just a tragedy. He was wonderful with his ideas on forming this organization, and through his leadership, we're blessed. We really have quite a remarkable group of people, and we get people, Odie and Fred, that come in from all over the country, and they talk about the respect that's given to SEMA. That all goes back to Ron. He had some really good ideas and was forceful enough to put them through, but not so forceful that he wouldn't listen to changes when they were suggested. I think he was quite a remarkable gentleman. We certainly will miss him. And he did something truly incredible that maybe a lot of you don't know. Because he had no family to consider leaving his estate to, he has established a trust for young upcoming writers through his alma mater, I think U of M, is that right, Grant? Where he's going to be donating money from his trust every year to young writers. So even though Ron's gone, he's going to continue to give back to the automotive and the writing community for a long, long time. So remarkable man, and we certainly will all miss him. He's quite incredible. Turning up to some brighter things. Actually, I need to cover something before we go into a brighter thing. In Canada, my neighbor up at the cottage happens to be the vice president of Mercedes-Benz. And one day we were out on my boat, I was trying to terrify him, and I did a good job too. He brought up something, and he said that they are becoming increasingly worried about damages to the press cars. A lot of the damage is occurring in South Florida, our group. And it's something that I've certainly noticed through the years. I brought it up to Marcelo and Angelo a couple of times when the likes of a Mercedes will show up and the AMG rim has been curbed through one of our members perhaps not giving the due care that should be given to a car. Not just a car like that, to any car. We should be treating these cars like our own cars, not like a rental car. A rental car, you can do it. There's an old saying that what can you do with a Hummer that you can do with a rental car? Nothing. Some of our members treat these vehicles like rental cars, and we shouldn't. And this gentleman brought up the fact that some of the cars in the press fleet might be disappearing. That if we don't take better care of them, they're going to yank them out of this area. And I think for all of you, it's absolutely tantamount that we take really special care of these cars. Every single car we get, that when you turn it back into the gentleman of prestige, this should be beautiful. It should be clean, well taken care of, not curbed. Just exercise some care, or ultimately, all of us are going to lose out because of this. So I don't want to see that happen, so I just want to pass that along to you. I'm going to talk very briefly about Rides and Smiles because, oh my God, is this exciting. Something through one of the fellas who brings a car each year down at Homestead Air Force Base into the Rides and Smiles event phoned me a few weeks ago and he said, look, I have a photographer pal who would like to volunteer to come down and shoot some stuff both days. And he is here today. He is volunteering his time to come down and give just some amazingly artistic work. I've seen his website, it's gorgeous. And he's also invited a friend of his who runs a video production company that, in a word, the quality of his work is astonishing. Absolutely Hollywood quality. I was blown away when I looked at it. They have generously and kindly volunteered to come down and create these odysseys of both of our days. So the two gentlemen are at the back of the room here. Thank you both guys. We're really looking forward. From what I've seen on your website, I'm so excited about this. Now, we are honored that you would grace us with your talents, and that this is just terrific. Now, something that's happening, Marcel and I were part of a meeting a few days ago with the gentleman from BMW Motorcycles, trying to get final things on getting the motorcycle press fleet down here, and it's been a lot of work, but eventually it's happening, so this looks good. And he's heard about both days. And as we're sitting talking, he said, I've got an idea. I've got a very good friend who I would like to invite down. Would you like to have Jay Leno? Yes, please. Jay Leno is apparently a huge BMW motorcycle fan. He is very much into charities, very much into military. In the combination, he has already approached Leno's people and he said he has an extremely positive response already. So the chances of getting Jay Leno down here for both days are very real, very exciting. And then the second thing, that the ladies in our audience will like this part. He said, I've got one other pal I'd like to invite, Bradley Cooper.
No.
Bradley Cooper, also a big BMW motorcycle fan. He said, obviously he's huge into the military, really believes in that and charity. Roy is reaching out to Bradley Cooper and he said, the only thing standing in the way if he has to make a movie on the 26th and 27th of February. So we may have these two mega superstars joining us at our event. And my fingers are crossed so tight, I can hardly breathe. I think that with the photography and video work that we could potentially have for both days, it's amazingly exciting. Now, some of the stuff, we've got good response already on different vehicles coming this year. For example, before I go any further, I've got to thank a couple of our members. Juan Robin, who I don't think is even here today, Juan has kindly stepped up and said, I'll buy the t-shirts again this year. So out of the goodness of his heart and the depth of his right pocket, he's paying for the SAMA t-shirts that will go out to the kids and to the veterans. So, class person. Ariel with Hyundai, for the third straight year, he's volunteered to have Hyundai buy the lunches for the wounded warriors from that wonderful barbecue place down there, Shiver's Barbecue. So, a lot of class. Now, Chrysler, thank you very much, have offered to do their best this year with Viper, a Hellcat something, and that gorgeous new Alfa Romeo, that 4C. So we're going to have some good cars there. Nissan, GTR and a 370Z, and Mazda have stepped up to say one of the brand new MX-5s and a Mazda 3. And last year there was a gentleman, actually the last 2 years, who has brought a silver Porsche Carrera GT, the sweetest sounding car at the racetrack. It's got a 2B exhaust on it. He brought that in a 458 Ferrari. This year he responded back to me right away and said, yes, I promise to attend, and here's your choice of cars. Tell me which ones you'd like. Well, the choice was overpowering, but I chose his LaFerrari, which is a 1,000 horsepower supercar. He's bringing that. And the only one in the country, he just bought a model of Ferrari called a 599 FXX. There are none in North America. Hendrik just bought one. I've got a video of him driving it at Spa in Belgium, and it sounds like Pavarotti. It's like, oh my God. I don't know what he paid for it, but a lot more than I can afford. So both of his cars are going to be there. Porsche are trying to get one of their GT3 factory race cars down. I've talked with the people up at the head office in Atlanta. They're working hard on it. Another one of our guests, Bob Panoff and his wife, he's bringing his brand new Viper TA Track Edition and a new SRT. And Manny, one of our members, is bringing his new Lamborghini Gallardo Trofeo race car, along with this Corvette race car. So we've got a pretty sizable selection of cars coming already. Oh, I'm throwing stuff around. Thank you very much. So it's Rides and Smiles is going together very, very well. It looks like we're going to have bigger and better, and I fully expect that the 3 hospitals will be in excess of 150 children that we had last year. So I think it's going to be a busy day. So I would actively encourage all of you to come down. You don't have to be a driver to enjoy the day. My favorite photograph from last year was Tony getting a hug from one of the little patients, and it's a beautiful photograph, and it tells what the day is all about. And these little people, so much appreciation and love comes out of them, and they smile all day long instead of being in the hospital where they're going through treatment. It's a spectacular day. So if you can come down and walk the children to the car, help them get seat belted in, whatever you can do, you'll get a great deal of gratification in your own hearts from this day. It just is wonderful. So please try to reserve February 26th, Air Force Base, February 27th, Rides and Smiles at the Homestead Speedway. Boy, I'm gonna run out of time here, just talking. Paul, did you want to say anything, or?
No, it's just like the plan for Ron said that we're going to do for next year.
We have been talking about last night about, I think Kimberly brought this up about right after Ron passed, about having an award recognizing Ron, and I think we kind of looked at recognizing his, to follow up on the scholarship thing, perhaps an award for excellence in writing or something like this. We still haven't worked out all the details yet, but we are going to recognize Ron. I would add that he was more than a founder to all of us. He was also a very good friend, and I know that he was always thinking of Sama and the Sama family.
He did.
Just like the new members. Thanks, Charlie, for being here. We appreciate it. We do have 2 new members that have joined us: Denise Sacre of Infinity USA and Aileen Clark of Infinity USA. And then Treasury Board report, we're $8,572. So the bank is looking good. And no shine. So we're looking good. So thank you.
I'm going to turn it over to Pepe in a minute. We're going to get in very briefly here to nominations for SAMA next year. Something, before you accept a nomination, just something to bring to your attention. This does require a fair bit of time, more than you would probably think, because you're involved in not only a monthly meeting, a monthly executive meeting, but daily phone calls or texts, emails that come in asking questions about SAMA. There's a lot to answer, so I think if you're the type of person that's inclined to go to Canada for 3 months, you don't want the job. That's just not But if you're good enough to stay around here and be part of the community, it's wonderful. So Pepe, I'll give you.
Thank you. Good day, friends. 2 things about the website. As you know, I'm always interested. It's something new. On the website, you have a button about news. Before, this button was about automotive news. And that's no longer the case, because we have plenty of automotive news everywhere else. Now, if you hit news, you're going to see events of SAMA. I found that a lot of members call me, I cannot find the email of the next event. Could you tell me where is it and where's the address? So what I did is, now if you go to news, you are going to find all the emails that we sent, a copy, all the future events. For example, already there is a note for the auto show coming the 6th of November. I don't know if you want to say something, John, about the auto show. Would you like to?
Yes.
I'll just scream very loudly.
As you know, the show opens to 6. Thank you, Pepe, for the plug. I'll pay the 20 we agreed on a little later. There's a full day of press conferences. Let me open up by saying the press conference schedule begins registration at 8:30. The first press conference is at 9. I've listened to a lot of you over the years and said, hey, let's try and tighten them up, make them a little crisper. So for every half hour between 9 a.m. and 4, there is going to be a press conference. All the lines, a good number of the lines are hosting. They're on our website. There are awards going to be handed out. Jaime Flores is going to do his awards at and that'll be the last press conference. And then a couple of lines are having receptions and dinners afterwards. There is a kickoff reception many of you are familiar with at the Raleigh Hotel on Thursday. It's kind of like a kickoff welcome, sponsored by Mazda and the Auto Show. I encourage you you'll be getting an invitation probably by tomorrow. I encourage you to RSVP. I also really encourage you to register online, MiamiAutoShow.net. It makes things a lot easier, without question. We are glad to be working with everybody, and from Kim. It was great to meet Kim. I've talked to her, and emailed her for the better part of the last 6 months, and now we put a face together. And we're looking forward to working with her as well as all the other lines. So it's an exciting time. One thing I do want to say is, I've had a number of you say, "Where's Melissa? Where's Melissa? Melissa?" It's like, John, move, Melissa. Where's Melissa? Melissa is fine. Melissa is still with me and working in a number of capacities, but this year she is taking a break from the auto show. So you're stuck with me and others on my staff. Come to me. I'll try and not make a big mistake. I'll ask Melissa what to do, but I think I might be able to pull it off. But do email me as well if you have any questions, and I will most certainly get back to you. And the one last thing, and I don't want to dwell on a lot of this negativity, but I do have a funny Ron Beasley story. I mean, everything has been very upbeat and positive with Ron, and he and I have gone back more years than I'd really like to mention. But one of the things was I made the mistake of telling Ron when he was doing the judging, I said, Ron, a lot of the manufacturers are doing interactive displays. They're doing engagement aspects, whether it be simulators or whatnot. I said, I think SAMA would be interested in maybe expanding its awards and doing some kind of engagement type of award, just to encourage the manufacturers to keep doing it, keep bringing it. And he and Paul, you could testify to this, it ended up being such a debate that I was like, what did I do? Why did I go there? It's like, I know it's not a car, Ron. It's engagement. It's something new and novel. And I think at one point I just said to Paul, I said, can you mediate this in some way, shape, or form? And it all worked out. But he was such a car guy. Even something as simple as, hey, let's do an award for interactive. He was just like, you kidding? It was one of those things. So he will definitely be missed by myself, as well as I know all of you in this room. It's going to be a tough show for some of us because he's been a mainstay. When we do the judging, Pepe's doing a phenomenal job, and we're doing the judging. As I said, we've got lunch sponsored, we've got a Colorado being given away. I have 2 free tickets for guest passes that I'll hand out while you guys come back with your food, and I'll pass out the guest passes. And if, like I said, if you have any questions on the show, just pull me aside. I don't want to take it away from the program.
Thank you. Thank you, John. So if you go to the web and you touch news, you're going to see all the future events, just in case you miss the email. Right now is the Auto Show. There is also the Christmas party on the 4th of December at the Redfish restaurant. And there is also November, it is confirmed that November is confirmed, right? Yes. By Mecum Options. It's a great news, yeah, they're coming to us. We've been trying to get these people for a long time, almost a year, to get Yeah, the 24th will be our summer lunch, and it's gonna be the day of elections that we are going to nominate